for their very first appearance on the show. It is Michael Bergeron from the Houston Free Press and Jake Hamilton, formerly with the Houston Chronicle's Yo section. Welcome to both of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here.
Okay, Michael, I'm going to start with you since people don't know which one of you is which because I just said two names and you're on.
Here I am.
So, Michael, okay, Houston Press, Free Press is currently where you are at. Free Press Houston.
Yes.
Beforehand, you've done a whole bunch of other places, too, you've got.
Sure, I was the associate publisher at Public News in the 90s. They shuttered in 98. I've also written for Houston's Other. I've written a lot of freelance articles for various magazines, Create Magazine, NB Magazine.
On your free time?
You kind of lose track when you do freelance.
Go to the films or no? You go out to movies on your free time, or is that too much work?
Absolutely. All the time.
All the time. And Jake, I do know that not only did you write for Yo, the kids section of the newspaper, they ran a contest, the Win a Date with Jake Hamilton contest.
Apparently I'm some kind of prize or something. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. So you don't write for, you're going to school now.
I do. I'm a freshman at U of H, and apparently once I graduated high school, they said, well, you know, you can't hang out with the teenagers anymore. So, but they have a new girl in there now, and I've read a couple of her articles, and she's doing a really good job. So I'm glad they got a new perspective in there.
Okay, now it's time for us to see what you two know about film. So our first question, you know how this works? 60 seconds on the clock. The first question deals with Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning is coming out. Horror month, all of that. Did you guys see that movie, and what do you think?
Well, it's really interesting. You know, like there's a new trend of horror movies. For a while, we had the Japanese remake. You know, the girl with the black hair in the bathtub thing. But that's kind of dying out. I know they have The Grudge coming out, but we're really getting to a point in horror movies where it's more of like the, you know, how bloody can you make it? How torturous can you make it? There's a term that Mike uses.
Deathsploitation movies.
And
it's like a new genre, but I couldn't help feeling, I thought that Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, which is a prequel to the remake they made last year, is, I couldn't help but feel that even though it's a very competently produced movie, lots of great technical values, that the audience are going home and watching snuff films. It's a brutal film. There's more violence in this film than Martin Scorsese's The Departed.
But
and
honestly,
that's saying something.
It's, you know, it's bloody, it's gory, it's done in, you know, low taste. It's probably the lowest form of American cinema, but I enjoyed it. You know, you go in there knowing whether or not you're going to like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, let's be honest. You hear that, you know whether or not you're going to like it.
I think we've summed up these two pretty quick on the first question. Well, you bring up The Departed. Martin Scorsese, back in fine form again. That's our next question.
It's a great film. There's so many fine moments in The Departed. It flies by like 30 minutes, even though it's 2.5 hours long. The actors in there, especially some of the smaller parts, like Alec Baldwin, Martin Sheen, Mark Wahlberg, are really good in those roles, as well as the leads, DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, of course.
In a second and a half, because we have a clock to watch that, what's the plot?
It's more of, there is Jack Nicholson.
You're out of time. No, you go.
No, it's cops versus robbers, but they have a mole. The bad guys have a mole in the police department has a mole with the bad guys. And then when those two guys' paths cross, then there's a bunch of double crosses you don't even see coming.
In the career of Scorsese, how does this fit in?
People keep saying, oh, you know, it's as good as, you know, Goodfellas, but honestly, I felt that it was better than Goodfellas. I would rather watch
I think Goodfellas, Casino are his two best films. And you're talking about a guy who did Taxi Driver and Raging Bull.
So
I'm a Raging Bull fan.
It's an excellent film. It fits in.
Okay, and our last question. Right around the corner, Christmas time is coming. Nightmare Before Christmas is getting re-released, the Tim Burton film. Now it's finally got a cult following, and it's in 3D. Talk.
It's really interesting. You know, 10 years after it's released, now that people are starting to like it, you know, Disney, when it came out in '93, was kind of hiding behind it. They released it under Touchstone, and they didn't really want to have anything to do with it. But now it's starting, you know, people are buying it. You can't go to the mall, buy Hot Topic without seeing, you know, the Nightmare Before Christmas everywhere. And now it's finally saying, Disney saying, okay, well, now we want to support this movie now that people actually like it.
And 3D is a way that movie theaters are bringing people back into the theaters. The 3D experience is awesome. This is going to be digital 3D, but there's also IMAX 3D. I recently saw Over the Edge, or, you know, there's some Over the Edge, Open Season in IMAX 3D. There were two 8-year-old girls sitting next to me. At the end of the movie, they got up and started dancing. They were doing the Watusi, which is from the 60s. And I felt that exhilaration watching the film. The clarity, the brightness on a 3D image is really excellent. It makes it worth going to see a mediocre film.
And they did it, yeah, for Superman Returns, because I saw Superman Returns.
And we will know no more. Thank you, gentlemen, both for coming in. A pleasure to have you here, and we'll see you in another month or so.
All right,
thank you, and we're out of time on today's show. Remember, join us next time. We'll have some folks from Much Ado About Nothing. We'll also visit with Matthew Van Biesen from the Houston Symphony, and our musical guest will come from Murder at the 16th Annual Montrose Spelling Bee. You'll figure all that out next week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.